Good afternoon, happy Sunday. It is Marsha Gauntlet Kirby and welcome back to Brownface TV. I am late. I usually try to upload my videos by 12 o'clock or they premiere at 12 o'clock on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know what's going on this semester. I know it's because this is my last year and I'm taking advanced level classes, but it's been right out the gate, paper after paper, after assignment, after paper. I have been going to bed at, and I hope I'm not deterring anybody, but I have been going to bed at 1 o'clock, no later than 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. every day I think for the past week, okay? Because I had to get stuff out. Anyway, so I just said I hope I'm not deterring anybody because today's video is part 2 of tips and tricks for going back to school. Now the first part 1 was more dedicated to it was almost like a before what to think about before tips before you actually apply and get into your respective program. This is more after. I don't think it should take too long. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing is communication is key. And what I mean by that, because I had spoken about this, I had spoken about, I told my husband, I'm so sorry. I told my husband that I wanted to put up this video, so I wanted to kind of elicit some of his suggestions because, you know, we are a partnership. So communication is key. If you have a partner, if you have children, whatever it may be, whoever is in your household, communicate. First, communicate that this is your plan, that you plan to go back to school, and then just talk about, after the fact especially, talk about, okay, so how long do we think this program is going to be, what you feel may change, what you feel may not. Gather perspectives from the people in your household. How do they feel about you going back to school? Because you'd be surprised. You know, not to say people, of course, our family, we want them to be happy and supportive, but they, because I know when at the height of COVID, it was 2020, when I told my husband that, well, we spoke about it before, I wanted to go back to school, but when I actually got into the program, I found out 2021, he had COVID. He was at the end of having COVID, and it's almost like his face dropped, but it wasn't from him not being supportive or happy for me, but it's almost like, you know, we've been married for 20 years, together for 22. So it's like, at the time we were, I think, was it 18? How long was it? Girl, 18, or we were at 18 or 17 years, one of those. But it's like, okay, for the first 16 years, you had this person, you had them by your side, you were doing mostly everything together. So now things are going to shift. So I think that's what it was. So I would communicate, prepare the people, whoever you need to prepare, in advance. This is going to, this is what I plan to do. This is happening. I want to make this happen. So yeah, communicate. Number 2, with that being said, communicate. Now we have kids and small children. We have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. So again, you have this person or whoever it is in your household, partner or what have you, and you guys are, pretty much working together. Pretty much like both of you, hopefully, both of you chipping in to get like household things done, to get everything done. So speaking about breaking up the responsibilities. So right now, my husband is handling more of the household duties because, again, this year I'm just taking classes, but the first 2 years I was in an internship all year for both years. So I was out of the house for hours at a time. So breaking up the household chores. So let's say this year, and depending on when I have class, this year, Thursdays, I really can't do much because I'm finishing up my readings. I am finishing up assignments, whatever we do that evening for class. So hubby is in charge of helping the kids with homework. He's in charge of cooking. He's in charge of making the kids lunch. Now, Tuesdays, I forgot what days I have. I think it's Tuesdays and what? Ooh, Tuesdays and Wednesdays? Sundays, I'm so sorry. Sundays, which is today. Sundays and Tuesdays, I'm in charge of getting things together, like lunch. I'm in charge of the cooking. So breaking up the household responsibilities. So communicating about what's gonna happen within the household, who's gonna take charge of what, And my husband also works from home. I mean, that was one good thing that came out of COVID. I mean, I work from home 2 days a week, and he works from home. Now he's back in the office one day, but 4 days a week. So he can pick the kids up, get them together before I get home. And then I gotta, they're hitting their homework and I'm hitting the books or whatever it is that I need to do. So breaking up household chores, responsibilities, that would be my number 2 suggestion. Number 3, and I did this more so in the first year. Well, planner, calendar. I am a pretty organized individual, but I wasn't putting, especially when school started, I wasn't putting in the beginning, I wasn't putting things on a calendar or a planner for school. Like, of course at work, I put things on events and stuff like that, but I actually went out and got a physical calendar. My internship the first year was with young first generation females that were going to school. Anyway, one of them suggested, or she said, this has really greatly helped me. So, and I heard it before in orientation and stuff like that. So I ran out, got a calendar, and I really was putting everything on that calendar, which helped. Now I am a little bit more, I'm more in a groove. So I use my electronic calendar. Google Calendar is my friend, is your friend, is everybody's friend. And that's another thing too. Now that I'm in school, I use Google a lot more than I've ever. I mean, I used to Google for searches, but not use it for writing papers, not using it for presentations. So yeah, that's what they're using right now. So I don't know. I guess this will be an extra or added tip to that. Get acclimated with Google because everything is in one place, Google Drive or whatever it may be, where you can have everything in one place. Like everything speaks to each other instead of like, okay, I'm gonna go over here to, I don't know, Microsoft Word, and I'm gonna go over here for this, and you have to go pull up notes for this. One thing in one place. So I usually utilize Google Drive, not Google Maps. Google, well I do, but Google Calendar, there's so many things, Google Meets, there's so many things in there. So that's an added tip. I was really saying planner, calendar, but I think that kind of adding the other tip in kind of falls under that umbrella. So that's tip suggestion 3. Okay, 4, I guess, find out what time of day works for you, okay? I told you guys I'm going to bed at 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. I don't know who I think I am because I do not work best in the evening hours. And I see that, like I'm trying to finish up these papers and assignments, and by the time, I'm looking at the words are looking the same. I don't know what's going on. I am a morning person. I like to be up early. By 3 o'clock, you're not getting much out of me. So I'm not sure what's happening. But which was a problem for me until I spoke to my therapist. I would get home, and because I'm an early person, and plus I like to get up before the kids get up and get everything together. So I usually get up at 5:30 in the mornings when I'm going to work. And on the weekends, it's about 6:30. And by the time I got home from work and everything, I would just sit down, and I would not sit down after the kids were together, dinner was made, whatever was going on. Even if hubby made it, I would take a nap, and then I would be so upset at myself. And when I spoke to my therapist, she was like, well, are the naps helping you? Do you feel better? Do you feel refreshed after you wake up? And yes, I did. It would be like about a half an hour to an hour, and I would feel much better. I would be jazzed, to get up and then finish up whatever assignments, because I was going to bed at 1 o'clock anyway. So if I'm getting up at 10 from a nap, pumping out the rest of my assignments. But that was a lot to say. Find out what time works better for you. I suggest if you are a morning person, get up whatever time that is, and if you can get some readings done, some assignments done in the morning, do so. If you work better at night, of course, look, burn that midnight oil, okay? I find when I do have my own office, so when things are slow at work, I hope my boss is not seeing this, but it's the truth. When things are slow at work, I try to kind of go through and skim the articles that I need to do, because again, I'm fresher in the morning. By the evenings, I save more to get assignments in because I have to post, but in the mornings, it's better for me. Morning to afternoon is better for me to kind of read, because by the afternoon, evening, nothing is being retained. So find out what time of day works best for you. With that being said, time management. I don't even know how to get into this one. Time management. I thought I was really, I mean, I am organized. I thought I was a really good manager of my time before school started, but yeah, and I'm still growing in that area. Let's just say that. Because like I said, I'm going to bed at 1 o'clock. I mean, of course, there are times when we're not going to be able to manage and schedule everything that we want to do at the time that we want to do it. But yeah, just managing time, that calendar will probably help as well. Knowing what time works best for you. Okay, 5:30 or 6, I'm gonna get up, I'm going to read for an hour or half an hour. All right, I'm gonna you know, get the kids ready for school. I'm going to, of course, go to work. All right, I know I have an hour lunch break. I'm gonna schedule this here. So just trying to manage the time, I think that is the biggest thing that, from what I have noticed in orientation and different workshops, that's the one thing that comes up a lot. Learning how to manage time. I'm actually going to another workshop. I'm almost at the end, but I'm telling you, if you manage your time well, I'm just tweak it a bit. You're gonna have to just level that up, okay? If you don't, then there's gonna be some growth. You're gonna need to grow in that area. That will be, I think that's tip number 4 or 5. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. The last one, I'm not sure if it's a tip or maybe advice, suggestion. Yeah. So I didn't know what it was until I started this program, and I have and do for a little bit suffer from imposter syndrome. OMG. It's like you feel this thing, but you don't know. I don't know what the term was. I didn't know what was going on. I just felt so insecure. I'm in classes, I'm clamming up. I'm like, why am I not speaking? Yes. So there is going to be a little bit of imposter syndrome. For the most part, I'm not saying everybody goes through this, but if you do, refer back to this video. I suffer from it, and it really was a detriment to me. Mostly in the beginning, there were a lot of tears. I just really felt that, yeah, why am I here? I shouldn't be here. I was crying all the time. So I guess I would say, if this should come up when you are back in school, just know that it is normal. It is normal that it happens. Again, I think in that first video, I did say, you know, one of my suggestions was to get a therapist or just get somebody you can really speak to and talk to about it. But please know that you are enough. You are good enough. You made this decision to go back to school. That is a big decision, and that is a big step. So listen, okay? I don't care if you're single, you got 3 kids, you got 1 husband, you got nobody in the house. It doesn't matter. Kudos to you, okay? Yeah, so just know that you belong there. This is your time, okay? Whenever you're watching this video, this is your time, all right? And yeah, so I'm sure I could have built on the imposter syndrome a little bit. Maybe I will do a separate video about that when I can find my notes and go through that. But now I'm able to put a name to what it was that I was feeling, because, you know, I'm a little older. I don't know, I didn't at the time know all these, you know, I'm in school with millennials and yeah, some Gen Zers. So Gen Z, are they 20? Yeah, some Gen Zers. So I'm learning all these new terms, you know, I'm in my 40s learning all these new things. So I didn't know there was such a thing. It's ease now. Now I'm like, listen, okay, it's all about me. I'm meant to be here. Hello, I have a lot of professional experience behind me, okay? I may have been out of school for 20 years, but I have done so much in those 20 years in terms of my professional life. This is what I want to do now going forward, changing careers. So this is my time. I belong here, okay? So we just have to work on, yeah, shifting those thoughts if imposter syndrome creeps in. All right, guys, that is it for me. I really pray that this helps someone, whether it be 1, 20, 50, whatever, how many people. I really do pray that this helps someone. If you have any questions, any comments, please leave them down below. And I will see you next time. Have a blessed week. Bye.
Beauty in these ashes when drifting.